So now we're going to talk about the first fundamental. The first fundamental is how we stand, all right? A lot of people call it stance. We like to call it the shooting platform. The reason why is when you think of stance, you think you're always standing. Well, in the real world, we're not always standing. We might be in a kneeling position, a prone position, guard position. We might be in a very unorthodox position based on the dynamic critical incident that we're in. The first one we're going to talk about is the Weaver stance. The Weaver stance was developed by a police officer who's very, very good at target shooting and is widely known. However, the problem with this particular stance is it doesn't give us the pivoting that we need. So what I would try to do to explain to people is the Weaver, you'll see someone hold their hand straight out and then they'll support the hand or the firearm with the other one, having a bent arm. Now the problem with this is in the real world, when we're scared out of our mind, we're going to do more intuitive things. Intuitive is something that's more instinctive like. And one of our primal things we do is extend both hands out. So we know this now when we're dealing with body cams and dash cams. Police officers, they might have trained in the Weaver, but intuitively they stuck their hands out anyway. So that's what we actually call the isosceles or the neutral. So what that means is for the neutral, the feet are kind of straight, a little more than shoulder width apart, and they're pointing the firearm straight ahead. The isosceles comes from the fact of the shape that the arms make. The problem with this particular one is it's not a very athletic stance. If I was standing like this and you were charging me with a knife, this is probably not the way I would want to stand. I'd want to stand in a more athletic stance. What's that mean? Kind of like a football player. If someone was going to tackle you, you'd stand a different way than this. And I heard a trainer named Mickey with Carry Trainer, and he gave a good illustration, and he said, I want you to think of a track star. If you were going to run a 100-meter dash, how would you position your body? You would lower your center, you'd lean forward some, and different things. That's a great example of how we try to teach our fighting position or our fighting stance. Our fighting stance, I want to make sure my feet are a little over shoulder width apart. I want to bend my front knee, or I want my weight going forward to help manage that recoil. I'm going to go ahead and push my hands all the way out or a little bent. Depending on the situation, I do both, to be honest with you. And the way I do things doesn't mean that's the way you do things. We're all different sizes, shapes, different size hands. So I want to take a second and say, hey, this is how I do stuff. You might have to adapt these to fit your body, your training, and your circumstances that you're in. So the stance I like to do is I like to turn sideways here for the camera. I'm going to take this. This is a SIRT pistol. You'll see me use this a lot in our trainings. It's a laser pistol. It's completely safe. It's a great training tool. If you don't have a SIRT, I highly encourage getting one. So after we come here, I'm leaning forward. I want my head inside my arms. I want a very aggressive type stance. What I see a lot at the range is, and mostly women, guys do it too, but women usually kind of stand like this and they exaggerate a little bit and they actually kind of go here. This does not give you a good platform to move forward in your training. So we want to make sure we're forward, and that weight going forward, not only is this going to give me the ability to put more rounds down range and manage that recoil, but also if I need to move off the X or move off the line, it gives me a better chance of doing that. So that is what we discuss when we talk about our shooting platform. There are others. In our training, we train the standing position, the kneeling position, the sitting position, the prone position. We also have guard, and we have guard right and left. So those are a lot of different shooting positions. Let me share this with you. If you're still standing still, shooting at target standing still, in ARMA training, my instructor Dave Young, he says that that's basic threat engagement level 1. Standing still, shooting at target standing still is a very static environment. Real gunfights are very dynamic. So as we move forward in our training, understand that. Eventually we want to go to at least level 2. Level 2 is moving and shooting at target standing still. And then basic threat engagement level 3 would be I'm moving, bad guys moving. So as we're going through this training to get today, I want to make sure you understand that our goal is to be able to deliver these combat accurate rounds in a very dynamic environment.